YouTube, what is up? It's new side-by-side day. We got a Honda Talon today. Pretty interesting machine. I thought we'd talk about it a little bit. I made a list of pros and cons. I'm excited about it. It's looking pretty good. Let's talk about a few things on it. Let's take a look at it. Here it is. So not quite what I expected. I do like the red and blue. Looks really nice. Looks like it's got a good set of 10-inch wheels on it with like some 20s probably. I like the staggered look. Looks like it's got a 400cc two-stroke engine with 36 horsepower. A little lower than I was hoping for, but not bad. I mean, not bad. It looks like a good, for their first shot, not too bad. All right. So yeah, just kidding. Here's the Honda Pilot, the first side-by-side. Honda had this market. They started this in 1976, all the way, I think it was the Odyssey, and then they went into the Pilot, all the way up to, I think, about 1990, 1991. I remember dreaming about a Honda Pilot when I was a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing. It was pretty funny how you went from, I think we started out with like a Fat Cat. So if anybody remembers, that was like the motorcycle with the two big, huge, like three-wheeler tires at the time. And then we got three-wheelers. Honda's like, hey, let's do three wheels. That would be crazy. And then we went to four-wheelers and we got the Honda Pilot, which I just remember coming out. I remember I used to love to go to the Honda dealership with my dad. I mean, they were kind of like the only game in town. I loved going down there and checking out what they had there. And I've always ridden Honda motorcycles. I've had so many Honda motorcycles. I've always loved them. They've always been great machines. I thought they've always had pretty good quality. Some of my bikes, some of the CRF 450s had valve problems. But besides that, I really liked Honda. I've always liked Honda. I had Honda Bullet bikes, Honda Dirt bikes. I remember the four-wheelers and the three-wheelers were both like the bad A for a long time. And it just feels like Honda, they were like the king, and I think they just got kind of lazy. I don't know what it is. They kind of gave up on the progression of their three-wheelers, four-wheelers, at least on the sports side. I just feel like they kind of let it go. And definitely they had something, they had such magic here, and they just kind of let it go too. And then you had Polaris come and make a sweet side-by-side, and then kind of open up the market, and now everybody's jumping back on board. Anyways, let's talk about the pros and cons. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, that was the Odyssey and the Pilot, they were the first ones. It was pretty cool, rear engine. But let's go ahead and get into the good stuff here. So, all right. So let's find a good picture here. Check this guy out. I think it looks pretty cool. It's definitely a different look compared to what you're used to, but I do like it. It's pretty aggressive. So there you go. Let's blow that one up. Really cool, kind of a cool look. It's growing on me. I'm not gonna say it's like my favorite, but pretty trick. I feel like it does look like they've done some good engineering on this thing. So I made a list of pros and cons, and the looks is in there. I think it's interesting. I think it's growing on me. I don't love it, but I think there is function to the form. So I think there is reasons why it looks the way it does, and I think it looks like it has good geometry. I know it has a good weight balance on it. So they've thought about, the one thing with Honda, with them building so many cars, like they're able to rob some of that experience and put it into their side-by-side. So I like the looks, pretty cool. I think it's cool that it comes with window nets. As much as they're kind of cheesy, man, rolling your side-by-side over and having your arm out is not a good thing. So that's why they require them in racing. I kind of like that came factory with a window net. They're thinking about safety. It looks very ergonomic and well put together. So I think it's going to be cool, a cool chassis. I'm really excited to get my hands on one and drive one, but looks good. The wheelbase, very interesting, a 68.4 width with a 92.7 length. Totally, it's a little bit longer than a Razor. Than a Turbo S. The Turbo S is about 90 inches wheelbase, and this one's 92, so it looks smaller to me, but it's actually longer. And then it's not quite as wide, but it's wider than most. So it's probably going to be pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about the wheelbase. They've obviously done some thinking about that wheelbase, and I think it's going to be pretty sweet. Nice seats. I don't think I have a good picture of the seats, but the seats look awesome. So it looks like a really good factory seat. You've got a place for a 4-point harness. I think it's going to be great. I think everybody is going to be pretty happy with that factory seat. The weight, it doesn't weigh that much. 1545, fairly light, especially for all the features that it has. I think that's a pretty good weight. Came in pretty good, especially because you know that Honda, you know, they're going to have pretty good quality. I think I've always been really impressed with Hondas, and they're going to have good quality. So we got Fox shocks. They're like a middle of the road shock. We'll see how they do. They have dual rate springs. I don't think it's going to be beating the Turbo S suspension, but it looks okay. The rear section, the 4-link rear end, looks pretty cool. Again, I'm excited to see how it works. I mean, obviously they've done some serious engineering. It's definitely very unique, and I'm really excited to drive one and see how it goes. It has a DCT transmission, so I think we all knew that was coming. We got a 6-speed DCT. You can paddle shift it manually, or you can put in automatic mode. That's really cool. I think that's going to be a hit. You know, as much as I think that's going to be cool, I really like the CVT. You know, it's not fun breaking belts, but man, I feel like all the CVTs are so good now that I don't worry too much about breaking a belt, and it's just like, it's so easy to drive the CVT, and it's easy to rock crawl and easy to do things. So I don't know, I think the DCT is going to be cool. I've never tried one, so I'm excited. Again, something I'm excited to check out. Obviously, it's a Honda. Honda has a reputation for, you know, great build quality. I was looking at some of the other, let's check out some of these other pictures. I was looking at some of the other pictures of like the suspension, and it did look like very good piece. It looked like it was very well built. Yeah, this one. So it looked like that 4-link suspension. I mean, just looking at this picture, it looks like a very high quality build on this car. You know, if the rest of the car is looking like this, it's looking pretty good. So, you know, I think that's what people have to expect with the Honda, is really good build quality, and I think that's what they're going to get. It's going to be a reliable machine, and I think people are going to be really, really happy with it. Let's take a look at a couple other pictures. Yeah, I think, I mean, the looks are growing on me. It does have a nice set of Maxxis tires. So they did a custom, I tried to find the tire. They did a custom build for Honda, Maxxis did, and it looks really cool. It kind of looks almost like a Carnivore, but with Honda specs. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, I think they look cool. They look nice. 28-inch tires. And then it's got a 1-year warranty. So again, Honda's pushing their quality and reliability, and I think is that the best warranty in the business? Most people are 6 months. It's got to be pretty close. So a really solid warranty. All right, so it looks good. It looks well built. It has a decent amount of suspension. I think it's got 13 inches of ground clearance. It's not bad. I guess this is going to compete with the Yamaha, because let's get to the cons. So overall, I really like it. I'm really happy that Honda is in the game. I think a lot of you guys will like this. I'm guessing the pricing on this is going to be around 20 grand. It's going to, I would think it'd have to kind of compete with Yamaha YXZ pricing, and it looks good. I think it's going to do pretty well. I'm really excited to drive it. I want to try to hold judgment, because I haven't driven it or seen it in real life. But some of the cons, so watching their videos and all their press and their specs, I'm like looking everywhere for horsepower. And I think it's pretty funny that they are just like avoiding horsepower like the plague. They're like, it's a 999cc, it's got a special cam and this and that, it's a V-twin, it sounds good, it's got 104 horsepower. And this is kind of what I was afraid of. And they're gonna tell you that it puts down, power better with the DCT because it's got a direct gear. but that's just not enough. I just feel like that's not enough. Maybe some of you guys will disagree with that, but I just, you can't put out a side-by-side in 2018 with 104 horsepower. You're killing me, Honda, man. Like 150, like just getting close would be awesome. These guys, I know Polaris and Can-Am are gonna be at 200 horsepower here, I think, in the next year or two. So 100 horsepower, that's rough. It's just not, I want more than that. Hopefully, maybe, you know, it's high quality. Hopefully it'll respond to like a turbo kit really well or something, you know, in the tranny, and the motor can hold it and get it up to like that 200 mark. Because with 200 horsepower, you know, 150 to 200 horsepower in this thing, it would be so dope. Shifting it, it would be sick. So I'm bummed about the power. I mean, how can you not? 100 horsepower? I guess there was a day where that was the best, but we're talking that was so long ago. Like 110 horsepower was like 7 or 8 years ago. Like, you're so far behind with that engine. So I'm sure it's high quality. I'm sure it feels pretty good, but it's going to be hard for me from going from 170 horsepower down to 100 horsepower. That's a tough pill to swallow for a desert guy that just, I love the power. That's kind of a big deal. It's going to be cheaper, I guarantee it. But I don't like that it's 104 horsepower. And I think it's really funny that they just didn't want to talk about it at all. Man, I can't believe it took them so long to get this out too. That was my next negative. Like, what the freak, Honda? People started buying side-by-sides like crazy years ago. Why did it take you till 2018? I mean, I'm glad it's out, but dang, you should have got it out a little sooner. It should have been turbocharged. I really wish it was turbocharged. I'm sure it's a great engine, but no turbo, that's a negative for me. 13 inches of ground clearance. So your Razor's like 16 inches of ground clearance. It's 3 inches lower. Really, the big thing with that is that it has 28-inch tires. And the reason why it has 28-inch tires is because it has 104 horsepower. And they just could not, I think they had to stick with a lightweight rim and tire and keep it smaller to make it feel a little faster. And it sucks. If they would have added that power and added 32s, they'd be at 15 inches of ground clearance right now, at least. So they would be right there with the competition with the 32-inch and a beadlock and that 170 horsepower. It would have been so dope. So I feel like there's a missed opportunity there. I hope maybe there's something in the work for the future. But man, I wish people would start with the Halo model. I really wish they would start with the best one, like the McLaren F1, and then come down, then sell somebody something else. But like, give us your absolute best, get everybody excited, everybody wants to buy that one, and then make some that are a little cheaper, a little more affordable, a little for the trail, but like, give us the best. I feel like Textron did this too, so did Yamaha. They're just like a little behind, and there's good things about both those cars too. But anyways, that's pretty, half doors, give me a freaking break. The door, like, you literally just like cut out a piece so you could sell the bottom piece. Don't freaking sell a side-by-side in 2018 with half doors. If somebody wants a metal door, they're gonna buy it anyway, okay? So you can still have the accessory, but for the love, it didn't like save you any money to cut out this little corner. Like, don't do half doors, give it a full door. The door looks nice, but I think it's hilarious that they took out that piece of the door. It just cracks me up. Let's see if I can get, yeah, like right there. It's just like, dude, really? You decided that you just leave a piece out? That's silly to me. So anyway, it should have been a full door. I think that's it. I think really the main negative goes around the motor, and obviously those guys know that, I mean, I'm sure it's quality, but that's where they're just so far behind. If this would have came out with 170 horsepower, 32-inch tires, maybe a little bit better suspension, a little bit beefier suspension, this thing would have just been, the wheelbase looks dope, it looks super fun, the DCT sounds cool, but I just feel like they missed an opportunity with the horsepower. So you guys let me know what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just gonna be so fast and fun and just kick butt. I don't know, but that'd be the thing that stands out to me, is just the power. And I think it's funny that they didn't mention it in any of their press, any of their videos. Like, there's just no mention of the power, but apparently it's around 104 horsepower, and that'd be it. So tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about the new Honda? You guys want one? Do you like it better than a YXZ? Would you take it over a Turbo S or an X3? You know, I don't know. You guys let me know. All right, thanks guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.